Jackson, first play, going to throw. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage.
Well, this defense certainly knows they're going to have their hands full trying to slow down this passing game. Here's an example on the very first play from scrimmage. I think we'll see some different looks, maybe some pressure from different places, but it didn't work there, and it's a quick first down.
And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up. The Ravens at 6-2 to start play. They come in playing really well on both sides of the ball. They've won 6 of their last 8, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here's a second down and 7 from the 37. Jackson, options out left. And a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. A good chunk on the ground on the keeper, 17 yards, first down. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it,
trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And the Broncos are going to get it back here just past the 35. Well, that is a quick lesson on how difficult this defense is to throw against. An interception on their initial drive of the ball game.
Now we know why their offensive staff spent the entire week awake trying to prepare for this one, because you can't totally shy away from throwing the football. But at the same time, you're looking at them and going, where are the weaknesses? How are we going to move it?
One of the top defenses in the NFL for a reason. We just saw one example right there. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Now, this defense for the Ravens, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. If you're these receivers, you got to be ready, because when he's going to throw it quick on that RPO, he's going to throw it quick.
And this is why you spend time with your guy either in the offseason, during the week, the whole bundle. Because sometimes just telepathy. You both see the same thing, and he knows get the ball to him right away.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Good work after the catch. Gets him 15 and a first down.
And as a quarterback, you're always pleased when you can use all the weapons at your disposal. Here he spots his fullback underneath. Gets the completion right there for a nice pickup.
Off the play fake. Here's Nix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Now it's 2nd and 10. Nix to the air. Got a man open. It's Sutton. It's going to be a nice pickup, but he also takes a pretty good lick at the end of that one. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off, because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
And he will have a Broncos first down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. To throw, here's Nix. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And the Broncos are going to be looking at first and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there, and now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up second and goal. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Throwing Nix. They'll set up the screen. It's McLaughlin. Touchdown! Jaleel McLaughlin, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Now 2nd and 5. Jackson. And this one's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Jackson from the shotgun. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete. Call it a gain of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the 1st down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front. But somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. There for the stop defensively, Nick Benito. But you look at this Bronco defense. They've been a very good unit against the pass, defending at 5th best in the league.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run...
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Hey, Ozzie, sit up.
Now it's Jackson. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Talanoa Hufanga.
For a team who came in here on a healthy winning streak, we're seeing some uncharacteristically bad play thus far. And that streak is definitely in jeopardy if this offense keeps giving the ball away and can't mount a few drives of their own.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Nix. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be second down. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. This 2nd and 4.
Let's go.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down. And that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to third down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. To throw is Nix. He completes it to Beckham. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 23 yards, the final tally.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover. And they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Here's Nix. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Evan Ingram taking it in. And the Broncos have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively. Obviously, 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Here's Jackson to throw. DeAndre Hopkins making the catch. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson now. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end, Andrews. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Jackson. And that'll be taken in by Andrews for a Ravens touchdown. A 16-yard touchdown. And the Ravens are back within a score. Tucker with the extra point. And that'll make our score 14-7. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Tucker now for the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Pushing his way through. And he returns this to the 22. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Nix. Over the middle to Beckham. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. The leading rusher in NCAA history from Youngstown State. Here's Jaleel McLaughlin. He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage. They'll send the tight end in motion. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. A short throw to Ingram. Past the 20. 5. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Evan Ingram with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. 2nd and 6. To throw is Jackson. Underneath here to Hill. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Here comes 3rd and about a foot. They'll try and run for it. Here's Hill. And he is not going anywhere. He will not even get back to the line of scrimmage as the clock will stop at the 2-minute warning.
It's 4th down.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
No, we changed it.
They're going to try and throw. That is caught, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a 1st down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, make him make someone miss in the open field.
Jackson to Andrews on that one. 1st down, Baltimore.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moved.
Yeah, they were right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10.
Hey, middle.
Now Jackson. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. And give him a gain of 37.
There's no doubt in my mind that not many guys in this league have had the impact that he's had here in the first half of the season. He's been a big play guy from the word go and continues to be one with another one right there.
Henry will take this into the end zone. It's a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to add the point after. He's got it, and we're all tied at 21. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they'll have a little bit of time to work with. 35 seconds until the break. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. Hit as as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone, throwing it, he had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A nice pickup there, 10 yards.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Looking to throw. Nix. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number one.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Back to the air with Nix. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. So as they talk it over, we step aside.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
Nix to the air. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oh, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Here's second and 10. Back to throw again. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon.
Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? Oh, and some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner,
yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Dobbins trying the left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards the pickup, first down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
To throw, here's Nix. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
3rd and 3. A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he will have the Broncos first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down. Throwing Nix. He finds his target, Beckham. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. It's got to be so tough having the ball in the middle of the field like that, knowing that a linebacker is just waiting to make a big tackle like we just saw.
No doubt about it, because offense coordinators love to call plays to send receivers into the middle of the field. And linebackers, they want to naturally discourage those plays from being called.
And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 29-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. In motion goes the tight end. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
A good action to this point in the third quarter. Just a 3-point game. 2nd and 10. Here's Nix once more. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
The kick by Lutz is good, and that will add 3 more to their lead. It pushes it up to 6. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
A yard all they need, but it's third down. The slot man in motion right. He'll get an opportunity with it on the touch pass. He's got the first down and more. And he will step out of bounds down near the 10-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 51 yards on the ground. So that about the shortest pass a quarterback can make, but it winds up going for a bundle.
Yeah, let's face it, in the stats, it sure looks like a heck of a throw, doesn't it? It's almost like in baseball when you get that little Texas leaguer that turns into a double. You would think that you hit it off the wall. Big-time play for him on a short little pass.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got...
That is caught. It's Bateman for a Raven touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Ravens have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will put them on top here in the third. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's 2nd and 3. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here. From the gun on 3rd down. Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have the Broncos first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. On the handoff, McLaughlin. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9. 3 quarters have come and gone. And this offense on 3rd down today, they have been superb. 5 for 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. Nix. That to the sideline, and it's intercepted. And the Ravens are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this.
Oh, for the third time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are right back in this football game. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And this one complete again to Mims. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
Second and 11. It's Dobbins on the out route, bringing it in. They'll give him 4 yards there. 3rd and 7 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
He completes this to Sutton. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And after that play, we've got an injury, and it appears to be to Cortland Sutton. Hopefully, obviously, nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. From the 23, here's 2nd and 2. A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 40 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns. But guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Dobbins will get about halfway there as he takes this from the 4 down to the 2. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow, and this guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They'll try to run with Dobbins. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
And now 3rd and goal coming up. The loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder. And they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Odafe Owe. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 9-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
They'll start by running the option to the right. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. With Nick Bonito not letting him escape there, he was in instant pursuit off the snap and dropped him behind the line. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Jackson. And the catch made by Hopkins. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he has a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now it's Jackson. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Alex Singleton. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. And they'll send the slot in motion left. They'll get it forward to him on the touch pass. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And that helps. That gives him a 7-point lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And can they regroup? That's the question. The pick six hurt, no doubt, but this is still a one-score game here in the fourth. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well.
And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Picked off by Pat Surtain. And the Broncos are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ballgame, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. Another run on second down, trying to cover up. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Pastor, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. On third down, here's Dobbins. And not only will he not get the few inches he needs, he's going to go backwards. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They're going. It's Nix. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Dobbins. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Ravens going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
And what they're always hoping on that type of a play, that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it. Well, it has been the passing game that's really been responsible for much of the scoring so far. But let's not forget about this running attack. They're pretty good, too, as evidenced right there.
And I think, Brandon, the fact that they've thrown the ball so well contributed to that touchdown, because that was a defense that was really keyed up to cover those receivers. All they wanted to do was blanket them. They didn't have enough men in the box to stop the run, and you saw the end result.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's able to get this all the way to the 40 before going out of bounds.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession. And to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
Here's 1st and 10. Jackson. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on second. Well, they'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. Jackson to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Connecting with Andrews. And he's going to get some of that yardage back. Still doesn't have a first down, but he does get out of bounds to stop the clock.
And that was yardage that they needed there after the sack on first down. They didn't get all of it back. But now they look at 3rd down as a manageable situation, one that they have a much better chance of picking up.
Now Jackson. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a